So to start our Luxe Coat service, I'm going to start by having the client bring her feet forward on here. And I'm going to spray them with our hand cleanser. Then have her place her feet in the water. Let me know how it feels. So while she puts her feet in, I'm going to grab our salt soak. I'm going to put 2 scoops in the water. And of course, this is going to soften her skin. I'm just going to apply my foot file sticker so I have it ready when I need it. And then I'm going to unpackage my tools. It's just kind of giving the client the opportunity to soak her feet for just a minute before I start anything. So I'm going to have the client bring her left foot up first. I'm going to dry it off. She has polish on, so I'm going to begin by removing the polish. So starting with the pinky toe, I'm going to remove all color with our Zoya remover. And then if they need to be trimmed, now I'll trim them. Would you like them trimmed or just filed? So I like to wear them short. And then I'm just going to file. So generally toenails should always be shaped just straight across. Unless of course the client prefers another shape, they'll let you know. Now after trimming and shaping, I have the client place her foot back in the water and bring the other foot up. And now I'm going to do the same thing to this foot. Okay. And then now I'm also going to trim this foot, anything that needs to be trimmed. Remember to always feel under the big toe before cutting. You never want to trim anything where the skin is too close to the nail. Alright, and now I'm going to return this foot to the water. Have the client bring their other foot up. Dry it off. And now I'm going to push back the cuticles. So I'm going to use my pusher. Of course her skin is soft and it's been soaking. I'm just going to gently push back her skin, and then with the opposite end, I'm going to clean under the free edge. This client has shorter nails, so cleaning under the free edge isn't always an option, but if it's there, that would be your opportunity. Again, any skin tight to the nail plate, the pterygium, we want to just lift, get it nice and out of the way. I'm going to clean along the side walls gently. Just ask the client if anything feels funny, everything feels okay. Then now after pushing back, I'm going to nip. So I'm going to get my nippers. I'm just again going to just trim anything that's loose or hanging, anything that I lifted. And again, I'm just kind of pushing everything out of the way. You shouldn't have too much nipping. So I'm just going to grab a white buffer to now buff her nails. Again, I'm going to do that softer side to begin. I'm just kind of gently, more so in a downward motion. They generally have ridges, and you can use both sides of the buffer just as equally. Get in the sidewalls, remove any debris. Just fully utilize the buffer, so any shape or angle you need to use it. So I'm just going to kind of wet and dampen the sticker. And I'm going to foot file, starting with her heel. And these gently roll the skin off, so you'll see quite a bit of skin, of course, if they have it. If not, it just means they have good feet, soft skin. I always check with the client too, make sure they're not ticklish, ask if they are. You don't want to go on too aggressive and it not be comfortable. Just double check all toes. It's such a mild abrasive that you can do in nearly any part of the foot. Again, just in between, kind of softening the skin with just a little dip. Her foot's been out of the water. Everybody's going to have some dead skin that needs to be removed in between maintenance. Now I'm going to go back to pushing her cuticles back on this foot. I never want to be too far ahead on one foot than the other. And when working on big toes and cleaning out anything, I just always like to ask, does anything feel uncomfortable or tender? Sometimes just relieving the pressure underneath helps. Sometimes, they may have an ingrown. We don't work on ingrowns under our licensure, so I just try to clean, be as diligent as possible. Now I'm going to take my nippers. I'm going to nip any of that loose hanging skin. Again, just pushing out that debris. It's lifted because we pushed it back, lifted it up off the nail plate, so now it just needs a little boost, a little nudge. Alright, now that I've nipped all loose skin, I'm going to take that same buffer, I'm just going to gently buff each toe, downward motion as best as possible. Getting in the corners. And then I'm going to foot file, so I'm just going to soften, dampen that foot file. You want to make sure that you're thoroughly filing all perimeters of the foot. Most common area, of course, is the heel. Outside of the foot. Inside. So now once I finish foot filing, our next step is going to be to exfoliate and apply the sugar scrub. So I'm just going to grab our sugar scrub. I'm going to grab a product spoon, and I'm just going to get out 1 scoop for both feet. We're only going to exfoliate and apply it to the bottom of the feet. So I'm going to take half for 1 foot. And the foot that I have out is where I'm going to apply it first. Heel, ball of foot, toes, outside. Then I'll have her return her foot to the water. I'll have her bring her other foot up. I'm just going to dry off any excess water. And then I'm going to grab that rest of that sugar scrub. Clients can definitely be ticklish at this stage too, so just be cautious and aware. I try to avoid the middle of the foot, but if you can kind of sense that your client's okay, the whole bottom of the foot is perfect. Alright, I'm going to put that one in. I'm just going to rinse off her feet. And then have her bring both feet up for me. Dry off both legs and both feet. And since we're doing a luxe service, I'm going to remove my gloves first. And then with our body oil, I'm just going to do one pump first. I'm going to apply it to her leg, her foot. Pretty thorough. One more pump for the second foot and leg. I'm going to apply one towel. And I just kind of hold it over and make sure that temperature is okay. It's okay. And then I'm going to wrap it around her leg. Check the temperature on her foot. It's okay. So I'm going to wrap it around. I'm going to do the same thing to her right leg. Make sure that that feels okay. And the last towel applied to her right foot. I'm going to put my dry towel over just to lock in the heat. And I'm going to let her sit for 5 minutes just to let that oil seep in. So now after the 5 minutes, I'm just going to remove the hot towels. And now is the massage. So I'm just going to grab some body cream. Again, just 1 teaspoon for both foot and leg. So I'm going to take half. And start with my massage on her left leg and her left foot. Just relax. There you go. And then you're going to do massage for 5 minutes on each leg and foot. Making sure you don't forget any part. So heel, toes, all of foot. Again, making sure that you're rubbing the leg and any motion in the direction of the heart, up towards the heart. So I'm grabbing the second half of my teaspoon and now applying it to her right leg and right foot. Five minutes on this foot and this leg total. And our next step before applying polish is going to be to dehydrate and remove any oils or debris. I'm going to grab some more gauze. I'm going to start with alcohol. And the alcohol is going to remove oils, excess oils and debris from the nail plates, while also dehydrating, which helps our polish last a little bit longer. I'm just being very thorough, just getting in sidewalls, underneath the free edge. Repeat on this other foot. So I'm going to grab a fresh piece of gauze and I'm going to get our Zoya remover, which acts as a dehydrator but also a nail prep. Going through all toes, wiping all along the sides, other foot, everything out of our way. And now we're ready to apply polish. So before applying polish, it's always easiest to apply toe separators just so they're spread and you can apply it easier. So I'm going to apply toe separators. Ours are made of cotton, biodegradable, so we love them. And then I like to have her put her flip-flops on or and or sandals before I do polish. It's just really preference and up to you. This time I won't, just so you can see the polish application. So I'm going to grab our base coat. And just apply it to all 10 toes. Acts as a double-sided tape. And just remember every coat of polish that you apply to cap your free edge. And if you get any coat or any color on the skin, again, we have our cleanup brush. We have our cleanup brush that we brought out with our tools. And we're going to use Zoya remover just to remove anything off the skin that you don't like. So our client has chosen Rhino Yacht Club. Just a nice cobalt blue, very pigmented. So we're going to start with our first coat of color. Again, just seal the edge. So I'm going to go one coat on all toes and then return for a second. Again, if I get anything on her skin, anywhere I don't want it, I have my cleanup brush with Zoya remover. So again, with applying any coat, I just want to make sure I'm doing long, even strokes. I don't want any like itty-bitty strokes. It just, you can see it when the polish dries, that it can be inconsistent. I'm just applying my second coat of color. So now after 2 coats of color, I'm going to apply our top coat. So I'm just going to start on that first pinky toe, cover all color, seal it. So now I'm going to apply cuticle serum. And again, not touching the skin or the nail at all. I'm just going to drop, tiny little drop on each toenail at the cuticle. Oil also helps lacquer dry faster. So I just reassure clients that with the cuticle serum on the nail, it's not doing any harm. So that concludes our Luxe Coat Pedicure service. Now I would allow a client to dry under a dryer for 10 to 15 minutes. We say our lacquer is dry to the touch. They can remove their toe separators at that point and just still be careful for a couple of hours. No shoes or socks, just to let the polish dry and cure.